Good morning and welcome to Plugins for Labtech's PFSense4Labtech demo. Today we're going to go through just a quick demo of a new plugin that we're working on that allows you to start managing and monitoring PFSense firewalls. We've already installed the plugin, so if we go to Plugin Manager, you'll notice that we have a PFSense plugin here already installed and active. If you need to know how to install plugins, you can watch one of our other videos. I'll go through the install of plugins for you, or visit www.pluginsforlabtech.com and look for the support section. And under the support section, there is how to install plugins tutorial there for you. Anyways, we're going to go check our firewall here. So since we haven't set anything up yet, let's come on over here, bring our window. Come on, window. There we go. So we got a window here, and you'll notice that we have a passwords tab at our location. Remember, we went to a location. PFSense are location specific firewalls, so they're going to be handling a location. You might have more than one based on one location or another. We need to make sure that you have a username added in your passwords tab for PFSense, just as you see it here, capital P, capital F, capital S, sense. And then whatever your username and password is. No URLs or anything else are needed. Then once that is entered, you have a PFSense4Labtech tab. We'll go ahead and select that. And this is what the tab looks like. Each one of these controls here operates independently. So you'll need to first turn on management, which will initiate this box, allow you to see what backups you have, which we don't have any yet. And then we need to set a firewall address. If this happens to come up with the firewall address that you currently have as active, so we actually had a firewall address at .22 here, then we would want to drop down and double click on that again and reset it. Otherwise, it doesn't set. Since this is not our firewall and this is just the action of us changing that number, sets that number for us. So we are now good and valid for doing an update. At this point, we can run an update now. And as we do, this little box here pops up. And as you can see, we're actively scanning. It goes out and looks for a machine that meets certain criteria. Criteria that has to have checked in just recently, within the last 2 or 3 minutes. It has to be the later version of OS, so it's always going to look for a later version of OS versus a younger version of OS. That system has to be online and available. It can't have more than 2 other executing processes running on it at any given time. So at this point, it's looking at the processes that are currently already executing on that machine, and if it's no process is executing on the machine, it's going to make that machine higher in the list of the machines it's going to select than other machines on the network. So we're trying to pick the optimized machine to do the scan. Scan's really simple. It's not very heavy. It doesn't affect the end user, so you're not going to have users going, what the hell's going on with my computer while the scan's running. But we don't want to go off and select machines that are maybe have some issues going on with them, where they're slow, acting slow, or are not responding very well. Maybe have a lot of other processes currently executing on them at this point in time. Maybe they're stalled. We've seen that before. So a lot of these things will define kind of what the shape of that PC is in. So we select the right PC to do the scan, so it's quick and easy and gets done. As you can see here, we've gone through and handled everything that we needed to handle to make sure that that was taking place. We've got our backup, and we've just spit out our interface data. Once we do that, we now know that we have an interface. So our interface icon pops up here and says, we got interface data you can go look at. We also now show you last backup is updated and says, we've got an update for backup, and we have 1 backup in the database. We can go view that backup. And when we do, we get a little window pops up, shows us the backup. Here's the address that we backed up, the date we backed it up. You can then select on it, export the backup file, or delete the backup file. These are files now are stored in Labtech, so they're safe and secure. They're not even on the customer's network. The backup is now sitting in the Labtech database. When you regenerate the XML that you would import into the web admin for the PFSense box, you just export that file here. It creates the actual XML that it received from the PFSense box on your local workstation, so that you can then connect to the PFSense through the web admin and import that XML in, restoring that PFSense device. You can have as many backups as you want. So we give you the option to go back and clean up backups later by deleting them if you need to. We also now have an interface icon here. So let's click on the interface icon. When we do, we get our interface box that pops up. Tells us what our interfaces are. We currently both interfaces are online that we have. We have a WAN and LAN interface. Here are the IP addresses of both of those networks, and the last status of packets that we know about relative to packet traffic traveling across those interfaces. This is a cumulative package. This is the number overall since the interface was up or down that it received. So this number is constantly growing. That is our current setup. We will be adding more capabilities as we include more scan features and pulling in more data. We'll have more icons that show up on this list over here, allow you to go view that data. That is our plugin as it currently stands today. Feel free to download it, play with it. Enjoy.